Hey guys, what's going on? In my last few videos I've been tying nymphs, so I figured this one I would do a streamer. And what we're going to do is actually a micro streamer. So I find this, you know, really well fished in a lot of brook trout streams. You can switch up the colors. I'm going to tie a pink one because the last pink one I had I lost it in a tree. But yeah, no, these are super versatile. They work great early season, attractor patterns, finding fish in new water, you name it. So yeah, to get started, this is a size 10 Hanak competition jig hook. I like tying these on jig hooks. I think they fish really nice that way, but with a silver bead head, obviously. But to get started, we're going to use some pink thread. Anyhow, we're going to get this started with this thread. Bring it all the way to the back. And these are super simple to tie, and they don't really take a lot of materials. So I tie these in all different colors: black, green, purple, obviously pink like we're doing now. The next thing you're going to need is you're going to need some Maribou. So I'm using some Hareline Maribou in this shrimp pink color. So what we're going to do, a lot of guys will take this and like push this like this and tie that in. I don't really like that way. I actually like to get Maribou from the base of the feather and just strip it right off. So I'll grab a clump of that, pull it right off the feather just like that, and then you've got yourself a really flowy, nice clump of Maribou there. So you kind of want the tail to be, maybe the hook shank length and a half. So I'm thinking probably right about that long. So we're just going to pinch that right there, tie that in. Yeah, that's about the length that I want it. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to wrap the tag end of this Maribou kind of forward to give the body a little bit more bulk. So this adds a little bit of body to the fly before we're going to put on our dubbing. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to add a little bit more Maribou. I kind of like the tails to be a little thicker and fluffier than you might expect, but I made a mess right there. There we go. So I'm just going to do the same thing I just did. I'm going to grab a little clump, add a little bit more. No big deal. So obviously when we tie this second batch in, we're going to make it the same length as pinch number one. And same deal, just tie that right in. And that looks a lot better, I think. Snip our tag end off. Beautiful. Actually, I can see on the camera I gotta tie back a little bit more. Beautiful. Get this all cleaned up. All right. So our next step is actually to tie in our legs, and what I'm going to use for that is a CDC feather in this pink Cahill color. Obviously if you're tying a black woolly bugger or micro bugger, I'm going to call this, use black. If you're going to tie a green one, use green. Whatever, you can mix and match, and what you end up with is a really nice looking variation of a few different flies, or a few different woolly buggers in different colors and different situations. So I'm just going to tie the tip in at the very back of the fly, just like that. And now we're ready to do our dubbing. So what I'm going to use for dubbing is some of this Fulling Mill Microflash dub. What color is this? Fluorescent Salmon Pink. So this ice dub is tough to dub on the hook. I'm going to use a whole bunch because I kind of want this looking a little buggy, a little furry. So we're going to grab a pinch of that. We're going to make our dubbing noodle. Bring that right up to the butt, and you can start your wraps. This ice dub, kind of a tip with this stuff is if you do one little wrap like that, you can kind of pull on it on your thread and make that nice and tight, so it kind of helps out with the taper of the body a little bit. But that's about the thickness that we want, so that's perfect. So there's a little bit that's a little furry there. That's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. But now at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to whip finish and use the rotary feature on my vise. You don't have to do that. You can do this without using it really easily. So let me get that over here out of the way. And all we're going to do now is we're going to take our CDC and we're going to wrap our CDC kind of like you would wrap a rib. So when we're doing this, we want to make sure that, you know, we're pulling these fibers backwards, like that. And what you end up getting is a really buggy looking sort of, ooh, almost lost it. Hackle pliers would probably be a good idea. But what you'll get is a really buggy looking, oh shit, I lost it. That's okay. Fix that real quick. There we go. You get a really buggy looking woolly bugger, which is kind of an oxymoron, I guess, but just like that. And then we can go ahead and snip off the remainder of our CDC feather. So you can kind of see how that CDC makes these really nice looking wispy legs. It adds a ton of action. I'm a big fan of the CDC legs. They're also a lot cheaper than woolly bugger hackle, which, I mean, this fly tying thing gets a little expensive sometimes. I'm going to take a little more dubbing and add it kind of as a collar, sort of loosely dub it to make sort of a tapered collar. Maybe one more little pinch there. But these flies are awesome. I mean, it's just like your regular woolly bugger. It's just smaller sized. So, you know, I've caught super small brook trout with this. I've caught really nice brook trout with this. I've caught really nice browns actually. You know, anything will take these, and they look like leeches. They look like bait fish. You know, you name it. Fish just eat them. Period. So, you know, this is an example of something you have to have in your fly box. I mean, super versatile. Fish them in any condition, tie them in a couple different colors, and you'll be good to go. But you know, this is one of my go-to patterns. Brook trout really like the pink. Rainbows also really like the pink, and browns don't really care. They'll eat either. But this is kind of what you get when you're all finished up. So you can see it's a nice clean streamer, smaller sized. You can tie these on bigger hooks as well. This is kind of just my micro version of a jig style woolly bugger. So you know, with that being said, thanks for watching, guys. Highly recommend tying these flies, getting out on the water with them. You will catch fish if you tie these and fish these. So I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.